All of these foxgloves were sown at the same time, and if you can see, these ones which have been potted on are so much bigger than the ones that were left in the tray. And the reason for that is these smaller ones have exhausted the nutrients in the compost, and that's why they haven't got any bigger. The roots can't get anywhere, the nodules are small, and they've remained tiny. Whereas the ones that have been potted on are now, it's big enough size now to be planted in the garden. So what I'm going to do is, these ones here, I'm going to now pot on into slightly bigger containers. Because the roots are coming through the bottom. And the smaller ones, I'm going to then use the containers from these and pot the small ones into these ones once they've been washed. And then hopefully, these hopefully should catch up to these ones within time. So I'm just going to put a bit of compost in the bottom, not too much, and just tip these out. Lovely nice little roots, but they have fulfilled the container, so they are ready for potting on. Place the whole thing in and just put some fresh compost around the edges. Firm them down. And what this is doing is this is giving the plant some additional nutrients with the fresh compost and allowing these plants to get a bit bigger, to grow a bit further down into the pot. So this variety is Digitalis Excelsior Mixed. So there's a range of colours, from pinks to whites, different shades of pinks. And they've just had a splash of colour for the spring, but I'm not quite sure where they're going to go yet. But if I just keep increasing the pot size, then they should be nice plants by the spring. So I'm going to get them into these bigger pots now, and then finally, when they've outgrown these containers, I'll pot them on into these kind of sizes. And every time I do this, I'm just giving each plant that extra bit of nutrients, and these will happily grow away in this fresh environment. And they've been well watered before to make sure that they're thoroughly wet. I must admit, I do like Digitalis. They're one of my favourite plants. And these ones are biennial, like most foxgloves are. So they're going to produce this lovely rosette this year and flower next spring. And all these little containers, I'll give these a wash, and they can be used for the other foxgloves down here. So I see the difference. The difference is just the case of these had a bit more tender loving care. They were potted on a bit further along the line, whereas these ones were left as they were in the modules. So potting on really does make a big difference to the health and the growth of your plants, and it's something that I do recommend you keep on top of. So these small pots that I used initially are just the right kind of size to get the plants going after they've been growing in the original container and get to a good size. A last one. And the germination rate of foxgloves is generally quite good. So when you are sowing seeds, don't be too keen to sow too many, because you can end up with a run of foxglove plants, and then you're struggling to find out where to put them. So we've probably sown more than we need for this garden, so we'll probably end up giving these to family or friends, and they'll be finding homes in other people's gardens, because we have probably too many for this site. But I'm very pleased.